We are the Certified Nunas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
I am Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
So now, since we haven't done it in a while, let's talk about what we're watching. Anyone can go first. We don't have to do age order this time.
I've been like real sick, so I have not actually been watching too much. I have been keeping up with It's Okay to Not Be Okay, because that show is mint.
So good.
It is on track to be top for me.
I've also been rewatching, because, you know, when you're sick, you just like watching stuff that you've already seen. Maybe that's just me. I've been rewatching My Shy Boss, and I remember thinking it wasn't very good the first time I watched it, but maybe it's like my sick brain, because it's not that bad. It's not as bad as I remember. Like,
did you watch
really
it new? Did you watch it while it was airing?
Yeah, it could be
maybe
one of
that's
those bingeable
like
things.
a bingeable. It just released on Netflix.
Yeah, it was like there's like a bunch of ones that I'd already seen that they just like added a whole bunch onto Netflix. So that was one of them, and I'm like, oh, I'll just watch this. It's really not as bad as like.
No, it's a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, it's like
it was weird watching it while it aired, because after, was it the second or the fourth episode, they completely reworked a bunch of the what they were doing, because people were so offended by like, this is like a horror genre, and this is a like they didn't understand what was going on with it.
Yeah, they didn't understand they didn't understand the joke that everyone's scared of this extremely harmless man because he's socially anxious, so he's always like hiding his face and like never talking to people except like through terse notes. Anyway, it's a show with no tonal structure whatsoever, but overall it's an enjoyable dumb ride. Like, I've seen way worse. Let's just say that. And then I've also been, when I was in Quebec in my sojourn in quarantine at my coworkers, I had stopped watching My Little Old Boy and Delicious Rendezvous, because she always wanted to spend time with me because she loves me so much, so I just didn't have time. She like wants me to move back. She's like, I miss you, come back. And I'm like, I'm not moving in with you. So I've been also catching up on Delicious Rendezvous and My Little Old Boy. I've still got still got a while. I missed a couple months worth there, so yeah, that's what I've been listening to. What am I listening to? That's what I've been watching.
And listening. You were listening as you were watching.
Yeah.
Watching involves listening with my ears and my face. So yeah. Sure.
I can go ahead and go. Sky, by the way, podcast. You know, you can't see us, and you might not know my voice that well yet. Maybe you do know my voice. If you do, I'm like way impressed. So I started Into the Ring this past week. I'm watching it for the actors, for sure. Like that's often what gets me. So the actor and actress that are in it, I wanted to see what they would do with those roles. And I'm enjoying it for that reason. The topic is like kind of like local politics, which is definitely, you know, kind of like Lawyers. Not really why I would pick to watch a show, but it actually reminded me of the movie we watched with the public servant guy, and then the lady would come in and complain, like do all the complaints.
Oh, I Can Speak.
Okay, and I can talk. So it reminds me of I Can Speak, because the lead female character files a lot of complaints. Like, her hobby is filing a ton of complaints. So, and then he's the public service worker that was answering all of the complaints. So it reminded me of that a lot, that back and forth. He's way less polite than that guy, but whatever. I'm finding the actors really enjoyable. I'll keep watching it because I do like the banter. And I don't think this is a spoiler. Close your ears if you're really concerned.
Only been out like 2 episodes, right? Or 1 episode?
Yeah. It shows that they were childhood friends.
What? Shocker.
Right. But it wasn't, they didn't do it in a they didn't really do it in a like we're destined type of way.
They were
really
friends.
It was more of like it really sold the friendship aspect more.
What a new groundbreaking plot.
Now, as far as, can you totally see that these characters are probably going to be romantically entangled later? More than likely.
Yeah.
But
What?
the friendship
These are so
aspect-
shocking tropes.
the friendship aspect, it was like childhood friends leaning heavily on the friend, not like we saw each other when we were children and now I'm in love with you. Like, I don't think they even had crushes on each other when they were kids, is what it kind of looked like. They were just friends. I thought that was cute, but in a different way than the typical childhood destiny thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
You're gonna have to tell me how well it goes because Shion from Dreamcatcher is the OST.
Oh,
I think it's the ending OST. Let me know. It's her first OST, so I'm very excited. I'm a very proud older sister to her. I'm like, oh, you got it.
I think it's been enjoyable so far. So, for instance, the female lead character, she eventually turns to politics for various reasons. And, she doesn't really she's not that she's popular, she's going up against these like popular politician types, but she only has like pretty much her two friends from either high school or college. One of them runs a really cool, her camp ends up being in this like really cool bookstore. I would say it's a bookstore, or it might be like a book rental store. And then her friend that was like a valedictorian, and she's like a mom now, but so it's just like her two friends back her up to be like try to campaign against these like popular people and stuff. And of course she's the underdog, and it's kind of funny. Side note, which is really hilarious. So they show like the top 5 candidates for this position, and the third or fourth one is like a monk, a Hindu type monk. His name is Cha In-woo, which I just thought was really hilarious. So every time that character pops up, which is rare, I'm like, his name is really funny. So that's that. I recommend it. Like, it's enjoyable so far. That's probably why I'll keep watching it. I'm not watching for the politics. I'm watching for just the interaction with the characters, really. It's okay to not be okay. We already talked about that. Loving it. I do think, and I don't typically say this, but I'm just gonna say this. Because of the content that the show is handling, I hope that it continues to do well. Yes. I foresee that it probably will. They've handled things very well so far. I don't see any reason why they will biff it. I don't think they will. But because all of the things that they are covering, which is a lot of stuff. It's not just like one aspect of mental health. It's just so many things. They've handled everything really lightly, or when it's not lightly, like I don't know. They've been doing it really well, and so I think that's great. Hope that they continue to do so. So, it's on a track to be one of my favorites as well. I'm not concerned because I don't really hand wring ahead of time with that type of thing.
Yeah.
I typically trust showrunners because quite often, I don't know, I've had a lot of trust paid back on the shows that I like. Usually there's been a lot of good landings the past few years, so I'm gonna just put my money that it will be good. So, but content,
maybe
because it is sensitive, it's a little bit extra risk than the typical show, in my opinion.
I would say maybe if mental health is potentially a trigger for you, like poorly handled mental health or whatever, maybe hold off and wait until it's all done and somebody says to you, yeah, it's all good, they stay good, they stick the landing, and then you can jump in. But if you're concerned, then you can wait.
Because I wish that I could binge this show and I can't. It's so hard. It's so hard, being it's so hard waiting to do this 2 episode, but I know my reward is 2 hours of this show and not waiting, but it's so hard. After that second episode, I'm just I just want more.
I didn't start it until it had been on for 2 weekends already because I just didn't have the time. So I went up to the trailer with my kid and it was just the 2 of us. And I watched all 4 episodes in one night because I was like, oh, this is so good.
Now you've been spoiled in that.
I was like, dang it. Such a pain.
So I think that show would be appealing to a lot of people as well. Because of the way the story is told. I think it's pretty slick. It's very pretty. It would be a nice one. Can you imagine that being your first K-drama?
I don't think it should be.
No.
It's just like
It would be rough.
everything.
It's like people who Goblin was their first drama, and it's like when people like Goblin was their first, and they're like, and then they try to like start catching up on old classics, and they're like, what? And you're like,
No.
they don't all look
you
like
gotta-
this.
Like,
Start high,
dramas,
start low.
You gotta start closer to the ground.
No, just
Way
learn the roots.
Paradise. You can't start amazing and then then travel
You have
back.
to go through either Boys Over Flowers or something similar before you
Yeah.
get even close.
You need to like know like what other people had to get through to be in
Like,
this era.
To truly be a fan, you need to pay your dues by watching garbage.
For the record, we
Watch good stuff.
For the record, we don't actually believe that. Like,
No,
No.
we all
think
did.
it's funny.
So,
But let's say this. We also believe that like you could watch It's Okay and then watch something from like 2008 and absolutely love it. Like I think you should like actually try things like before just writing them off because everybody else has written them off.
right. I agree. Totally agree. So another one I'm watching is Lost Romance. Is Marcus Chang. So like you gotta. That's the way it works. It drags a bit for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, darn it.
And there's like, when I say problematic is too strong of a word, probably. It's the typical, the girl peeks at the guy, and it's okay for the girl to peek at the guy, but of course, if you think like if the gender was flipped, that would be like way not okay type thing. Like those types of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
To where, does that like hyper bother me? No, but I've been in a very serious mindset for like a few weeks, and so when I watch a very silly show, like then it's like you start seeing the cracks kind of a little bit. Yeah. So it's definitely not like the pinnacle of dramadom necessarily, but it's enjoyable because there's kind of two worlds. There's a fictional world and the real world, and of course I like that type of thing, so that's fun. It's enjoyable. You kind of have to just take it for what it is type thing. It's well done, I think. I think the acting's pretty good. Sorry if I burst anybody's bubble about saying it wasn't awesome, but I'm enjoying it. I think,
you know what? You're allowed to have your opinion, and as long as you don't tear down people because they like it, then that's cool.
I do wonder if it would be a better binge. I do wonder that. But
I'm kind of thinking that too. I'm leaning towards that, and we like talked ourselves into watching it weekly.
We really tried. Jesse and I tried to not watch it, but then it's like it's once a week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy, and who doesn't want to see Marcus once a week, right? So
True.
Yeah.
When you're right, you're right.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
The drama when it's feeling draggy, I'm like, I don't know. Would it still feel draggy in a binge? I'm not sure. It's hard to say. Unsure.
Yeah.
Also, just because of the structure of the story, I think here in the next few episodes, I'm going to start enjoying it more. The characters had to find their footing and get to know each other and all those things. And so you kind of have to stumble through that for a while. So, I don't know.
Yeah. We've got some time. It's like 20 episodes, so.
Yeah. So that's 20 weeks. Why did we do that to ourselves?
Oh, Taiwanese dramas.
I know.
They get you every time.
It's a long time.
It's a long time.
So in random web dramas that I decided to pick up, I picked this up because there is a kid. He's probably not that much younger than me, really. Maybe. My Boss is a Million YouTuber is the name of the web drama. The person I'm talking about is from K-Tigers, and he was also on Mr. Trot stuff. And so he got very, very popular, so he ended up landing this role on this web drama. The web drama also includes like a handful of other well-known Korean YouTube celebrities, I believe, based on some of the behind-the-scenes stuff I watched. It's all on YouTube. It's English subbed. You can watch it. It's kind of weird, but whatever. It's kind of a corporate drama, and for some reason, and within the show, all the YouTube stars aren't themselves, but they're still like YouTube stars. So like a dude that I think usually does like food shows in real life, I think in the show like he's all about fighting. So I mean, like none of it's casted to fit their actual personalities. It's very odd. And they don't know why they were even like hired by this corporation, and they don't even know what to do. So then they just up and decide to like try to sell the products. It's obvious it's supposed to be Samsung, but they call it Samsung. And so I don't know what it's doing. I've watched 6 episodes of it. Still have no idea. Did I have fun laughing at it? Yeah. So, you know, they're short. It's whatever. It's also fun. It's fun. Yeah, and it's fun to watch the person I'm watching it for, because, I mean, he's this Taekwondo athlete and then also trot singer guy. And so then he's playing this, like, nerdy person. And even behind the scenes, he's a very confident person. So him having a role like that, he's like, I really don't know how to act like this, so it's going to be really interesting to try. And so watching him been kind of fun, but it's obvious like he might be kind of like the spy behind the scenes or what, so like we'll just... And then I'm keeping up with Master in the House, which I find really fun. This past time they went to a Kako M Games place, and so they've been doing, they talked to the CEO and learned all this stuff. That was last week. This week it was, they went to a place, the CEO, asset management, so like stocks and stuff. So this guy is like the Warren Buffett of Korea, and he's trying to tell them how to become wealthy. Pretty much talking all of the you know, crew cast, all the cast into like, have you thought about your retirement? And literally all of them are like, no. And he's like, no. And of course, like Lil was like, I've never even considered something like that. Like, yeah, your brain just got broken, kid. You need to think about retirement. But I was amazed that, like, Sung-gi hadn't considered retirement. I'm like, dude, come on. You're old enough to think about it. Anyway.
Maybe he doesn't have to think about it, and actually his accountant is doing it for him. He's just not aware.
Fair.
Because so a lot of it was about like investment and stuff, and how none of them thought investment was good, except for this guy was like, hey, it's actually good. But what was cute was halfway through the show, they brought in kids to like teach financial literacy to these kids through games and stuff, which was like super cute, because they held like a flea market and made their own stuff. And so all the adults would be helping them. And so like one of the kids, but they're all like little stars. So one of them was a trot singer kid. It's like this really cool trot singer kid. He's hilarious. And then you have a child actress who, she was the princess in The Last Empress with Shin Sun-rock. And so she calls him dad, and they get paired up to like do stuff together the entire time, and they're so cute. And then a couple of parents come in with their kids, and so one of them, she's the parent. I'm not familiar with her, but I think she was an actress because of the way everyone knew her and stuff. But she's actually written a book about financial stuff before, and so she's been teaching her daughter all these things. But her daughter at one point is like, yeah, my mom does buy designer clothes, like, you know, very good. don't your business. And it was so funny. So watching the kids was just really fun, and especially the Shin Sun-rock, you know, and little actress person. It was really cute because her talent, she would act a couple of scenes. That's what she did. And then the little trot boy, he would sing trot songs and stuff. It was really adorable. We'll say one thing in case anyone goes and watches this specific episode and then gets on to me for not mentioning it. I haven't ever experienced with Master in the House in the past some weird statements about other races or anything, but they did early on when they were talking about investments and money. They did start talking about Jewish people a little bit when they were talking about successful American people. It didn't get like really, really horrific, but you know,
it was a stereotype.
There were some stereotypes going on. They weren't trying to be malicious at all, and it wasn't about appearance or anything like that. But it was about how the CEO assumed Jewish people were raised like with financial literacy or something, which in my opinion, like, of course, how would he know he's not Jewish? You know, like something like that. And they went a little far with that as far as a lot of assumptions. And then you get some patriotism in there, like, well, we Koreans are smarter than them, like that type of a statement. I was uncomfortable with all of that. It was something that I thought was a red flag that I had not experienced on that show before. So I'm just saying, if you go watch for cute kids and you run into that did occur, and that's, you know, I of course they shouldn't have done that, but it exists. It definitely reminds you how we all need to be culturally sensitive to each other. It definitely reminds you of that.
Or just always be checking yourselves. We're always gonna fail, you know.
Right. That was it for my watching list. Sorry to end on that note.
Okay.
That's all right.
So I'm actually watching kind of a lot of stuff because I decided to do some projects and they're translating into a bunch of stuff. I did remember, I don't know how I remembered, I finished 2 shows recently. I finished Triad Princess finally.
Oh, yeah.
I had like the last 3 episodes. You know, it was fine. Except it's short and crammed, and there are things that I would wish that could happen more. That, like, are we going to get it? It was already slim beforehand, and now look at us in these times. So that's like the kind of worst part about it. But it was fine. It's a cute little drama. Like, it's good. And then I also watched Where Your Eyes Linger, the web drama, the BL web drama. This is like, I bring this up because we were talking about like an example of a really good web drama, XX. And this is an example of like what could be a really well done web drama, but doesn't actually work because it's really great as a first episode to a series. But when it's a series, completed series, it doesn't. And it's actually kind of like sad because I think everybody did well and the like writing within was really good. It's just the pacing and what they tried to do in such short times, and it really, like, even if they had given each episode like 20 minutes, would have done such good things to it. And so it's kind of sad that like it did that, because I do think everyone in the cast did really well. And so it's kind of one of those things you're like, I'm sad because this like it deserved a little bit more and a little bit more thought in that you're writing for a web drama, a small web drama, as opposed to just trying to fit your story into that length. So, but it is short and it is there. And I think that like people actually should watch it because then it shows that there is a demand for it, which then can create change for more BL Korean dramas, which is essentially what you want. Also, the 2 leads were really great too. They were great, and I want to see more of them. Like,
they were really good together.
It's good, but it did suffer from being the length that it is. We're talking about Lost in Romance. I'm also watching that. I might drop it because it's Marcus Chang, but it's a rom-com. It's not like a makjangi like Taiwan show like some of the others that I've been to. Like, you know, like kind of the like stereotypical more soapy shows, which I found I really love for Taiwanese shows. It's like, do I really want this? Because a lot of the humor is not like for me.
And I think it's the humor's not landing for me quite right. Is part of it.
Yeah, it's like people are doing well, but it's like too humorous for some of like the kind of like wants of like the tension involved in the like family politics side of it. And like it has this kind of like cute underlying story about the like, you know, she works as like an editor and like there's, you know, the book angle, but I think everybody's doing well. For me personally, that type of drama is not really my type of drama. So it is only 1 episode a week, but like, do I want to spend that hour, you know?
Right.
That's also the thing.
The thing that keeps me in it more than Marcus is because she keeps on talking about like the genres of story and books and stuff, but like really that narratively it doesn't even matter. She just brings it up a few times, so like it really doesn't sell it hard enough.
And I like her and her coworker, her friend coworker too. Yes. Like that's a cute story, and like I think like there are cute aspects to it, but
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not behind your smile. Let's just say that. And then, of course, we talked about It's Okay to Not Be Okay, which is, if all goes well, it could be my like favorite drama of the year. I love everything about it, and I love the like horror paranormal aspects they're giving to it in the storybook. Like everything, every single bit of this show is like everything I love. The editing, the acting, the like writing, the
costumes,
look of it, the costumes, like it just everything. The amount of like comedy and how it's done is I can't get over like how every bit of it is something I love.
Had you seen that you can buy the books? Her books.
I didn't know.
Buy them. They're selling her books. The zombie kid and
I didn't
other one,
know this.
The kid who eats dreams or whatever, the boy who eats dreams.
I was thinking
you
about
can
how
buy
I
those ones online. I can't remember. I'll see if I can find the seats again. But yeah, you can buy them. They're books that you can buy.
Like 100%, I would be the target kid for those books. Like that's me. Like that. Her books would speak to me as a child. Like that's like perfect. I love it so much. It just makes me happy every week. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna watch this. So I said I'm doing 2 projects. One of them is like the self project that I did. I transferred like readathon type things into a drama-a-thon, essentially, which if you've never done a readathon, like the biggest thing about a readathon is gotta like an overarching like thing, and like you have things that you have to accomplish to pick the books that you are going to read, and so I kind of just translated to dramas, and I decided to do 2 p.m. dramas. Nice. Which means that I'm watching a lot of 2 p.m. dramas, because one of the big things is that I have to watch a drama for each member that actually has one, because Junica doesn't have one, that like it's like a main character drama, which means that Jesse's watching Dream High. It's hard, but Total Wine delivers, and so I have wine, and that's all getting like me by. I love Tech and I love Wooyoung so much, but it's real hard, and it's real hard actually having trained since like middle school as a singer to watch that show, because Susie's character would never have been immediately. I'm spoiling the first episode, but whatever. Her character would not have been kicked out of that school, like out of that audition, especially when you showed me 2 other people who were terrible singers that got in. So whatever. It's hard. I'm just like hoping for like people in the background, like JYP trainees in the background, like that I can see. I don't remember if Young K is in Dream High 1 or if it's just Dream High 2, because I know he's like a backup dancer or something. So I'm just like hoping for those things. And like I do like a lot of JYP's performers and groups, especially at that time, and that's fun. It's it's a show. It's a show, guys.
It exists.
It exists, and we're getting through it. And once we get through this like hump, it will be okay. But then the other drama that I started, because it's a C drama, so I have 35 episodes of it, so I had to start now because I've only got a month to accomplish these things. Is Shall We Fall in Love, and it has Nikun in it. It also has Faye from Miss A, who I love Miss A, or like I love Miss A, but I love Faye so much. I don't think I've like actually expressed how much I love Faye. So every single time she comes on screen, I'm like, it's Faye. Like she literally like makes me gasp. She's so pretty. She's so great. I don't necessarily like the show, but I have 35 episodes of it. So it's really great. We're in a really great time of watching Shall We Fall in Love and Dream High at the same time. But like,
No wonder you're wanting to drop Lost Romance, because like if you combine all these things that you're not really enjoying,
it's a lot.
That's a lot.
And I'm not the type of person who likes to like push through on dramas. And once I know I don't like a drama, I don't like a drama. But I will say that Shall We Fall in Love is not terrible for people who like that type of drama. It's like a rom-com-y type drama, but it's more like Nikun's character is the comedy aspect of the show. I do really like the female lead. I think she's like really sweet and nice. And like, I think Faye's doing really well in it. And I think, especially now, like where I am at, I don't know if it goes crazy because I've still got, it's 35 episodes long. But her character is the main character of the thing. Like, she's the second female lead. However, it's done in a way that she's just a girl who's rich and slightly spoiled and has gotten her way in life. And that's her meanness in it, because she's dating the female lead's old boyfriend, is the connection. That guy is also friends with Nikun from school or whatever. She's not super malicious. It's just her upbringing. And like, a lot of the times you're just like, this is not a terrible person. And I really respect that the show is doing that right now, because they're not making someone who actually seems to be undiagnosed, mentally unstable. They're making someone like kind of like a real, terror you would have in your life. So that aspect of it's been really good. And if you like kind of fun rom-com ties up, I think you would actually really like Shall We Fall in Love. And the episodes are only 45 minutes long, so with like 5 minutes of it being the intro and the outro, it really like helps. So yeah, that's all.
It sounds like a Sky show.
Yeah, actually, you might really like it. Like, Nick's character really is, because he's kind of like the dumb, very optimistic, like fun. Like, he's the one who's always trying to make people laugh, and like he just isn't aware of things. He's not terrible. I would recommend it to other people. It's just not a Jessie show, so which is not a bad thing. Like, we all have our shows.
But once you know it's not a Jessie show, it's like, this is not a Jessie show for a lot of episodes.
But you know what? I love them so much, and we'll get through these. We will just power through, and then we can like actually go to my other picks, because some of my other picks are actually shows that I had like stopped watching because of the timing. So I'm like excited to get back to them. We just got to get through this hump. I'm in the middle of a readathon, and one of the prompts I couldn't find the book for, so I just used a drama. And I'm watching Hometown Legends, I'm watching the 2008 season. It's like a episodic show. It's not really a drama. The reason I picked it was because the prompt was that I needed to read a book based on Korean mythology. And I don't have anything that I could substitute without like finding an ebook or buying it. I just didn't want to deal with that. But it's like really cool, because the episodes are done like they base on one thing, but it's like Twilight Zone, but Korean. So the first episode was the Gumiha episode, and it had Park Min Young, and at least I'm thinking it's him. It's pretty old, like, so like it's like young him from Last Empress, not Sung Jin Rock's character, but the other guy. Okay. He spends also like half the episode in
Choi Jin Hyuk.
Yeah, in the veil things because of his title. But it was great. It was fun. It was like a little creepy show, and I'm like, this is Jessie show. So
yay for a Jessie show.
Yeah. So that was my shining hope on like the shows picked because of outside reasons.
So, for me, it's trailer season again, and up here in Canada we have far fewer COVIDs and things, so like the government has said if you have a seasonal trailer, you can go hang out at it, but you're still not supposed to like have friends over and whatever. So for a change of scenery, sometimes I take the kid and head up there for a night just so that I can be not here anymore. So I'm doing a lot of Netflix that is downloadable because I don't have Wi-Fi at the trailer. So back on Two Fathers, and I'm so close to done. I mean, it's got like 70 episodes or 72 or something. I think I'm on like 60 now. I'm like, oh,
you're in the home stretch.
The end is in sight. But I was like, the last time I was up there, I watched It's Okay to Not Be Okay, and it ended on kind of like a down note or something, or a scary note or something, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch an episode of like Two Fathers before I go to bed. The happy cuteness, I mean, the one couple is starting to get together finally, and like you're like, okay, and it's just a whole lot of like they still haven't figured it out, and so it's all like their relatives going, yeah, you love each other, just date already, you know. But so I'm like, okay, we're at the perfect spot, right? So of course, what do? Bio mom shows back up.
Oh.
This woman has abandoned her baby at birth, and now this baby is like 6, 7, 8 years old, and she shows up and goes, okay, I'm ready to be a mom now, so I'm gonna take her now.
Oh.
And I was like, son of a gun. Yeah. Then I had to like watch like 3 episodes to get like back to something cute, but it was just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Of course, it's handy that one of the dads is a lawyer, so he's like, yeah, try me, like just try and take my kid, sure. So it's still good, it's still fun, but like it was not the light, happy watch that I was looking for that night, let me tell you. I just finished watching C-drama Intense Love. I have no idea why it was called that, because that had nothing to do, like, that makes it sound like it's a really like Mac-jangy thing, or you know, and it just wasn't. If you like light rom-coms about 2 adults who are super nice human beings who love each other and like work through their problems and trust each other, generally speaking, and like are willing to put in the effort that it takes to like make a relationship work and not buy the lies from the outside, this is the drama for you. Like, it's got a very Love 020 kind of a vibe as far as the main character goes, like the main relationship, like just that sense that like every time you think it's gonna take that downturn, you're like, oh, here we go, and then they're like, nah, I didn't care that I got that like ugly note or weird video or whatever. I trust you, I think you're great. Like, you know, he's like, oh, are you jealous that that little girl likes me? And she's like, nah, I'm a woman, she's a girl, what have I got to be worried about? You love me, I'm good. Like, it's just like 20 episodes, 24 episodes of 2 people falling in love and having sexy adult times and enjoying each other's company. It was a delight, start to finish. So I really enjoyed that one.
Maybe it was the sexy adult times that was the intense love part.
Maybe that's it. Like, it's just, you're like, oh, it's cute, because the idea is it's an arranged marriage, right? They were from childhood, their parents, they were engaged, and then they actually happen to meet and start to fall for each other, and then they're like, oh, this is who my parents set me up with? Oh, like, I'm okay with that. Okay, yes, this will work. And then, of course, the parents are like, what do you mean you're living together already? And they're like from birth, guys, you set us up from birth. Like, and now you're mad that we're living as roommates in the same house? Chill out. We're like 30 years old. It's all fine. So, yeah, so it was good. It ended, and I was like, oh, what C-drama am I going to watch now? And there's one called Basket Love Ball. It's called Love of Summer Night on MDL. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to start that, but I didn't like get to the tablet in time to like click start. So YouTube was just like, oh, well, you just finished watching this drama with this guy in it, so how about you start watching this drama? So it just started up, Romance of Tiger and Rose. So I'm watching that because it started. So whatever.
How they get you.
I don't know. We'll see if I stick with it or not.
We're already here.
Exactly.
Might as well.
It's cute. I'm curious where it's gonna go. So it's kind of it's a sort of historical, like a comedy historical, but it starts out with, he's an actor in a historical, and he gets into a fight with the writer. She's the writer of the show, and she's like, you left me all these notes and you're saying you don't like the character and that people don't act this way. And he's like, you've never dated before, have you? You have never been in love. People don't act like this in a relationship. Go sort yourself out. So she spends all night like working on her stuff, falls asleep, wakes up, and she's in her drama. And she's now the lead in her drama. And the lead is like very kick-ass, and it's the story of, he's like the second son of some big kingdom city, and she's the third daughter of some other city, but in her city, the women rule everything, and in his city, the men rule everything. But he's only really useful for marriage as, marriage fodder for combining the two kingdoms. He's not very happy about it, so he has to go live in her city where, like, the men have to walk, 10 paces behind the women, and the like just all these things where basically in the first or second episode, he tries to poison her, she passes out. It doesn't take, but he's going to die, and she's like, oh crap. She thinks he's the actor too, like she woke up in the story, so it's probably this actor who's in the story too. So she doesn't want him to die. He hates it. She's trying to figure out how to be this hardcore character and figure it out. I don't know if they're going to wind up back in the present again at some point, and it's going to be the actor and the writer, or if it's just a weird way that they decided to tell this story. I don't know, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of cute. It's good to have on in the kitchen while I'm cooking dinner. So I'll probably stick with it for now anyway. We'll see how it goes. I'm watching Ingredients still. It's a Thai drama. It's like a Thai webtoon drama. It's about a chef and a singer who are roommates, and they cook something every week. And it's like a commercial basically for this Korean for this Taiwanese Thai. Oh my goodness, language is hard. For this Thai grocery store, and so the grocery store has they actually have the cooking video online as well, and they post the recipes, and they have English subs for everything. And the guy playing the chef is actually a chef as well as an actor, and the guy playing a singer is an actual singer with a beautiful voice, as well as and they've actually acted in something else together as well. So it's kind of fun. It's cute. It's light. It's 10 minutes every week, so you can slide it into your And I'm watching a couple of Filipino web dramas as well. They're COVID themed ones, so everything is through the web camera, everything's shot through the web camera, and it's all they meet online and stuff. So the one is called Game Boys, and it's about a guy who's like a Twitch streamer or something, and meets this guy that way. It's really light and fun and cute, very flirty and adorable. The best friend is a girl named Pearl. She's fantastic. She's apparently getting her own series as well later in the year, so I'm looking forward to that because her character is great. The other one's called Hello Stranger. It just started a couple weeks ago. It's the toned down, more sort of low key version of it, but it's students, I think college students who are at home, and they have to do stuff online. And the one guy, Miko, is super smart, and he gets put together for a project by their teacher with the kind of dumb jock character who's going to flunk out of the course if he doesn't pair up with somebody smart. And sparks fly and things happen. So it's very similar dynamic in the sense that both are a sort of more shy, hasn't had a lot of love kid, and then a kid who has had relationships before, who is more outgoing, who's more flirtatious. They're different levels. They're definitely different characters, but I think I enjoy Game Boys more than Hello Stranger, but I am enjoying Hello Stranger. I don't like the choices they make film-wise in Hello Stranger. So Game Boy is all 100% through the web cameras. Hello Stranger does that, but then they also utilize side cameras that is weird. So a lot of the scenes are just scenes from the side of the person staring at something instead of seeing their face full on. So it's just a little awkward. It's weird. It often looks like the guy's talking into his closet or something, and you're like, okay, I guess this is a weird choice, but sure, whatever. So, But the story itself is enjoyable. Oh, I started a Vietnamese drama on YouTube called SOL, Stage of Love. It's all right. It's awkward. It's the sound editing's really, really bad in the first episode or two. The story itself is kind of cute. Guys who are gonna act in a drama together. One of them's been in the school for a while. One of them's just joined the club. It could be better. It's cute, but it could be better. Like there's a lot of scenes that just go on, and you're like, why? Why are we doing this? Why are we talking for so long and with side characters that don't really matter to the plot and stuff? So it's okay. It's there, and I'll probably keep watching it just because it's on YouTube and it's easy, and I'll see where it goes. But it's not something that I'm like every week thinking, ooh, I need new episode, I'm back, like I'm just sort of like, okay, sure. It's frustrating because they don't have Vietnamese stuff on my drama list, so I'm like, I keep going to put it on my list, and I'm like, so I don't remember it either. That's the thing. I go on my drama list to say like, oh, what should I be updating, and it's like not there, so I don't, and I'm not remembering it because it's not that memorable.
Yeah. Cool. So that's been this episode of the Certified Nunas. Thank you for listening to us. If you would like to listen to us on other platforms, you can find us on Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, on YouTube, Apple, iTunes, certifiednunas.com, where you can find all the links. I'll put all the links to things. I also list all the shows that we talked about. So if you couldn't hear us and couldn't figure out the title and you're like, I want to listen to that or watch it, I'll put it there. Also, we are doing a really, really exciting thing. We are going to be on a podcast fest. It's called the KPSN Podcast Fest, and it will be happening on July 18th. There will be a link not only in the show notes on our website, but also put it on the Podbean website, and we've talked about it on Twitter. We will be having a live podcast recording. It will be a lot of fun because we're crazy, especially when we're unedited. So it could go anyways. The event is only $5, so really I think it's going to be a really great event, and there's a lot of really cool people that are on the guest list, and we hope to see you there. You can also email us at certifiednunas@gmail.com. Bye!
Bye!